Okay, let's just dive right into this. We're going to talk about the psychology of money. But I want to be super clear about something from the get-go. This isn't your typical finance explainer, full of complicated charts and jargon. Nope. Think of this more like a diagnosis. We're going to look at how our own minds can quietly, secretly, work against us and sabotage our own wealth.
This quote, it's pretty much the key to everything. You can learn all the investing rules. You can read every single book on strategy. But if you don't get a handle on your emotions around money, you're just going to keep making the same mistakes over and over again. Why? Because when it comes to our finances, emotion, not logic, is almost always in the driver's seat.
So let's just ask the big question right up front. Is it possible, even likely, that your own mind is getting in your way? Well, we're about to find out. We're going to uncover some of these hidden mental traps that can silently mess up our financial futures and, more importantly, the simple mindset shifts that can help you escape them.
All right, our first big idea here is all about the stories we tell ourselves. You see, our entire view of the world, especially when it comes to money, is built on this surprisingly narrow foundation, our own personal history. And that, it turns out, can be a really dangerous thing.
Here's the thing. Nobody does crazy things with their money, at least not from their own point of view. Your choices always feel rational because they're based on your story, your unique experiences. I mean, someone who lost everything in a market crash is going to see risk completely differently than someone who got rich during a boom. And you know what? Neither of them is crazy. They're just playing different games that were shaped by their past.
And this is really the heart of the problem. Your entire financial playbook is based on this tiny little personal sliver of history. But that tiny sliver shapes almost 100% of what you believe about money. It means we are all, every one of us, operating inside our own personal bubble, which leaves us totally unprepared for the full range of things that can and do happen out there in the world.
And that leads us straight into the second big trap that's built from our personal stories, this illusion of control. Because our own experience is all we really know, we tend to believe that our outcomes are completely our own doing. We love to think success is earned and failure is deserved, but the truth is, nothing is ever as good or as bad as it seems, because we constantly, wildly underestimate the roles of pure luck and random risk.
Just look at Bill Gates. We all know he's brilliant, we know about his drive, but we often forget the 1 in a million stroke of pure luck he had. He went to one of the only high schools in the world that had a computer back in the 1970s. Now compare that to his friend, Kent Evans, who is just as brilliant, but who died in a mountaineering accident before he even graduated, a 1 in a million risk. Same brilliance, wildly different outcomes, and neither was fully in their control. So the big takeaway here is to be humble when you win and be forgiving of yourself when you lose.
Okay, so if our internal stories are one trap, the external world has a whole other one waiting for us, the social comparison trap. This is that moment where we stop playing our own game and we start chasing this incredibly dangerous goal, the goal of just more.
I mean, this quote from Morgan Housel just cuts right to the heart of it, doesn't it? The desire to show people you have money is the single fastest way to get rid of it. It's a game where the finish line just keeps moving further away, and it pushes people who have more than enough to risk everything they have for things they don't even really need.
And here's the fascinating psychology behind why that kind of spending doesn't even work. It's called the man in the car paradox. Think about it. When you see someone driving a Ferrari, you don't admire the driver. You use that car as a mirror for your own desires. You imagine yourself behind the wheel. People aren't thinking about you. They're thinking about themselves.
And that brings us to such a critical distinction. Looking rich is all about spending. It's visible, it's loud, and honestly, it often comes with a whole lot of stress. But being rich, well, that's about not spending. It's the money you didn't touch, the assets you haven't turned into stuff. Real wealth is invisible. It's savings, it's investments, and at the end of the day, it's freedom.
So if chasing more is a trap, then what's the alternative? It's all about shifting your mindset, from trying to win to just trying to survive. Long-term success in finance, it turns out, isn't about being brilliant or making aggressive moves. It's just about endurance.
Take a look at this number, $156 billion. You know what that is? That's how much of Warren Buffett's net worth he earned after his 65th birthday. Just let that sink in. His real secret wasn't just being a genius investor. It was being a pretty good investor for over 80 years.
And this really shows the beautifully simple secret to compounding. You just need 3 things. 1, earn good returns, not even spectacular ones, just good ones. 2, do it for a really, really long time. And 3, maybe the most important part, survive long enough without blowing up. It's all about staying in the game.
But, staying in the game is hard, especially when the markets go crazy. This is such a powerful way to reframe it. Stop seeing market downturns as a fine, like you're being punished for doing something wrong. Instead, see it as a fee. It's just the price of admission. It's the cost you have to pay to get the long-term returns that the market can offer.
So, after we avoid all these traps, where do we end up? Well, it's time we redefine what the ultimate financial goal even is. Because if it's not about more and it's not about looking rich, then what is it all for? I can tell you it's not just a number in a bank account.
This, right here, this is the whole point. This is the true purpose of money. It's not about the luxury cars or the fancy watches. The absolute greatest thing money can buy is freedom. Specifically, freedom and control over your own time.
Controlling your time. That's the highest dividend money can ever pay. I mean, study after study has shown that having a strong sense of control over your own life is a way more dependable predictor of happiness than any income level or status symbol. That is what you are really buying with your savings.
And so that's what I want to leave you with. A simple question to take with you. When you look at your own financial life, what are you optimizing for? Are you buying stuff to impress people who, let's be honest, aren't really paying attention? Or are you buying back your time, your options, and your freedom? That choice, that's what truly defines wealth.